Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be focusing on first bloom for me, not for the plant, for Vanda Merrillii cross Tessellata. Now this cross kind of exists in a Vanda cross called Vanda Greg Scott, but this is not labeled Vanda Greg Scott. This was my Vanda purchased from Plantio La Orchidea in Florida. When I first got it, I noticed that it had old spikes and at pretty regular intervals. Sometimes, if you can buy an orchid in person, make sure you check on these vandas if they have old spikes. Because if it's a larger vanda and you're not seeing the old spikes in the creases of the leaves, it might indicate that it is one that does not like to bloom. Anyway, this one, as it is a cross of two fragrant bandas, should have a beautiful fragrance. It was advertised as likely to be a rich red or some shade of red, but it's not, clearly. It says Merrillii cross Tessellata. I believe it has the Tessellata coloring and the Merrillii shape to the bloom. And thus far, it is now fully open for some of these flowers actually just opened yesterday, so I don't yet have much of a fragrance on the flower. So I will have to update in the comment section to let you know what it smells like, because this certainly is not fragrant right now. However, as you can see, I also decided to pot it. You know, some people have expressed concerns about seeing vandas in pots. I must say, when I lived in Florida, Florida was the most ideal place for growing your vandas bare roots. And as you know, because I've said it before, or maybe I didn't, I'm from Jamaica. If growing vandas there is hard, it's not hard actually. Growing vandas there is not hard, and I could have actually grown them bare root because of the environment, the warmth, the humidity. Perfect for growing your vandas bare root. Now, obviously, I am now in Ohio, zone 6. You cannot grow your vandas bare root for certain environments. I have grown them bare root in the start of my orchid growing career, about 7 or 8 years ago, and they did fine. But keeping the roots hydrated enough in an open environment, especially because they have to stay indoors during winter, is not ideal. And I also had at the time 2 little toddlers, and now I have 4 kids. So yeah, growing them bare roots and keeping them moist in a zone 6 environment is not ideal for me. I do believe what you should aim for with your plants is having them as happy as they can be in your environment. It is obvious we're not all growing in the Caribbean or in a nice humid environments like Florida, or even perhaps as beautiful as California. They tend to have drier environments, so many of them can't grow bare root there either. So you do what works for you. There's multiple ways of doing things to achieve success, especially if the goal of your orchid growing is to actually just enjoy the plant growing hobby itself. You do have to make amendments and adjustments for plants that are obviously not native to your environment. And that's really the goal. So, I pot these, and if you see Vanda potting, the Vanda potting technique that I showed you, putting it in basket liner and pool noodles, the pot is super light because it's really, really, really airy. There's nothing much in the pot itself. So they get what they want, which is moisture to their roots, which keeps their roots happy and healthy. And really, that is all you want with your vandas. If their roots are healthy, and I do mean all of them that I grow, if their roots are big, fat, healthy, and growing, you see these green tips? That indicates success. See these pink tips here on the I think this is, who are you again? Vanda Kalihi Beauty. Yeah, see these tips right here? They just popped out. That's what happens. These are all potted. I can't do the, bare root thing. So you have to find a method that works for you. In fact, every single one that I'm looking at right now See these roots? There's no wrinkling. The new roots are popping out everywhere. And that's what you want. Look at that. That's even a spike. It's one of my favorites. The Denisoniana cross Vanda falcata. Strong fragrance. I think Kalihi Beauty might have spikes coming soon. No, did you dry up your spikes? Girl, you're embarrassing me on camera. Grr, arg. But yeah, so a sign of health is when you can look at their root tips and you see the nice fresh root tips popping out everywhere. And this is after a long winter, you know. So everywhere you want to look, this plant was strongly damaged when it got frozen, and it's on the mend very fast and growing new roots. So that's what you want to see. So don't get hung up on how you're growing in comparison to everybody else around you. You have to do the things that work for your environment. Here's one I got recently, one of my favorites, Vanda cross Merrillii. Mine died in the freeze about 2 years ago, and I said to myself I wouldn't repurchase it, but I did. And this one didn't have good roots to begin with, but there you go. New roots starting on my little Vanda. Here I am again, burning my plants as usual. Ugh, so horrible. But see the roots in the pot? That's what you want them to be doing. You want them to be growing roots, having healthy leaves, not burning them. And whatever you need to do to achieve that is what you need to do in your environment. Okay? Don't get hung up on what you see other people doing. And oh, this one is going to be popping soon. Anyway, back to Vanda Merrillii cross Tessellata. I will have to update the fragrance in the comment section for you guys that love hearing about fragrance. And that's really why I grow. I love fragrance. When they're not fragrance, I just this is why I do this. I love fragrance. I hope you enjoyed watching this particular video on my little chat session about Vanda roots, because it is really important to do whatever it takes to get your plants happy in your environment. I'm literally just scanning over all my Vandas in their pots. Why is my child screaming? I tell you. This is why I grow plants, guys, so that I can actually have a moment of reprieve. Oh man. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And see, even look at this before I even tell you goodbye. See the roots popping out on this is the Neophanetia Cayo, let me get the name before I lie. Cayo Bijin. Yeah. Interested to see this one bloom. So yes, my dears, thank you for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Take care. Goodbye.